guys, welcome to the Something About Tuesdays podcast. I'm your host, Phebe Joi. Join me every other Tuesday for a lighthearted podcast to keep you company while you do your thing. Hey guys, welcome back to Something About Tuesdays, episode 67. I'm your host, Phebe Joi, and hi, hey, and welcome. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope your last couple weeks have been pretty good. Mine have been good. I have to say, you all, September, it came and went. I saw a meme or a reel of some kind, and it had said, like, September acting like it's got somewhere to go or something like that. And I was like, definitely, because September was here and it's like gone by the time this comes out. I think this comes out on the last day of September. I think it comes out on the 30th. And it's like, all right, here it was. September was great. I hope yours was good. Mine was good, but now we're moving on. We're moving on to October. My goodness. Which, I mean, I'm excited about, as y'all know. I mean, I'm counting each week and being like, so every week feels good to be moving on. I can't believe we're in October, or at least about to be. I've been seeing these little, I guess they're just like souvenir stuff you'd buy. You know how there's like themes for everything, like a fall shirt or whatever, and the latest one I've seen is like, it's time for the Burr months, quotations BER, and it'll have like a representation for September, October, November, and December. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling the Burr months. These Burr months, they're gonna be like my last like trimesters and into, January where I'm gonna have my kid. And I'm like, yeah, like I want to feel all the cozy vibes for the Burr months. So September was fantastic. It was good. It was my birthday month. I'm about to tell you guys about my birthday. We went out to eat and it was wonderful. And then October, of course. No, I don't celebrate Halloween, but a lot of fall stuff, y'all. Amazing fall things happen in October, such as fall break, wah, which I am on starting now. Yay! So fall break happens in October, so that's always good. I've always loved October. I remember I always wanted to get married in October, like in the fall, or in the summer. I was like either in the summer or in the fall. I ended up getting married in the summer, but fall would have been my absolute next favorite time to get married. Just because I don't know, fall vibes, like fall always felt good. And to me, October is like prime fall. Like September, technically fall doesn't start until the, end of September, till the 22nd or 21st or one of those, 22nd, I think this year. And so it's like I love that it's like the introduction of fall, but October is like the meat of fall, right? That's like where the leaves are changing colors and it's absolutely stunning and beautiful before it gets too cold. Because sometimes in November it just gets cold and then you're right into winter. So I do love October for that. And then of course November. Like November's great because Thanksgiving. Like other than Thanksgiving, I don't know that November has much in it or going for it, but Thanksgiving is great. And the fact that you get a break for that is good. And then, of course, December. How can you not love December, right? Now it's no longer fall vibes for me. No, at this point, the leaves are all gone. It's actually not very pretty outside unless it's snowing. But there's Christmas and the spirit and the festive cheer and time off and all of that stuff and the new year you're looking forward to. So I do like these Burr months. So I was going to go on Amazon. I did look and be like, okay, I kind of want a Burr shirt that was like, I love the Burrs. But you guys, it's already past September. Like, I feel like I'm too late to be able to get one. I saw a mug that had the same stuff on it, and I thought about getting that, but I was like, I don't know. But anyway, so if you've seen those, get you one. But if not, they're pretty cool. I think it's cute. I feel like it's a cute little theme this year that made me think about, yeah, I like the Burr months. They are good. But yeah. So anyway, you guys. So as I was saying, so September has come and gone, but I did have a pretty good birthday. I think on the last episode I recorded, was it the Saturday before? Maybe the Friday before my birthday? I can't remember. And then was it? Look, y'all, I'm still trying to remember. I'm like, when was that? Y'all, I can't think of anything. I have this joke going at work because I blame not being able to think on my pregnancy brain. And I think it's a real thing. I don't know. So I have a friend there who, when I'm just like, I can't think, I'm like, hey friend, can you tell me this? Because my brain isn't thinking right now. And it's like the easiest stuff. I'm like, do we have this tape? Can you tell me where it is? Hey, can you just tell me what this is and what that is? And she does she's like, she knows like now. I'm like, you were thinking for me during this time frame. And so y'all, if y'all know, you'll hear it in the episode. If I'm trying to reference something or think about something and I just can't think of it, I'll just be like, oh, because that's where my brain is and where it has been, which is nowhere and everywhere all at once. But anywho, so anyway, as I was saying, I don't know exactly when I had shared with you guys last about my birthday, but I'm pretty sure it was before I actually had my birthday dinner, which actually was a brunch. So the Sunday, my birthday was on a Sunday, which is fine, it was great. And afterward, we decided to go to Mesh. Now, I told you guys about Mesh before, and the last time I'd went, it was for my husband and I. We went for our anniversary. And so I was like, I was so impressed and thought it was really good that I was like, I want to go again and like get either the same thing or get something different or get that Reese's pie thing that I was telling you guys about, that like chocolate peanut butter pie that looked amazing. And my husband got it and he gave me like 2 pieces of it and that was it. Now I admit I did have my whole entire chocolate like 3-layer mousse pie for my own self, but I was like, I want some of yours too. So he gave me a couple pieces, but he was like, you eat yours first. But anyway, so this past time we went, and let me just say, I was impressed again. I got the crab Benedict. I never get eggs runny anyway because I don't like runny eggs. So I got it, scrambled, I think fried or scrambled. I can't remember what I did. But anyway, so I got my eggs, I think scrambled it was like on a crab cake on a fried tomato. Oh my goodness, you guys, it was fantastic. The flavors blended together so well. It was amazing. And they were big, hefty, like crab Benedict things. Like it was so good. The crab was so good. I was once again impressed. I also got a waffle. Though, like as a side, I don't suggest getting the waffle. Literally, it tastes like a waffle that you would make at a continental breakfast thing at a hotel. So don't spend your money on the waffle. It's kind of pointless. I mean, other than just to have extra side if you're just feeling like, oh, I want that waffle. It's not a bad waffle. I'm just saying it's not a special waffle. So I got the waffle. And then, of course, I did get my crab dip again, my spinach and crab dip, phenomenal again. Even my mom likes spinach, so she enjoyed the dip. But even my dad, who doesn't really like spinach, was like, it's pretty good. And my sister, who doesn't like spinach, tried it and she said it was pretty good too. So it's pretty good. Now my husband, he tried it and was like, well, I don't like it. But I think like if you are someone who you're like maybe you don't always like spinach, but maybe you could try it. Fantastic in that dip. Oh, with the little pita bread thingies, you guys, it was fantastic. So again, mesh, wonderful, loved it. My sister, what did she get? Because she got something that looked good. Maybe it was a hot brown. I think she got some type of open sandwich. Um, I can't remember. My daughter came, Sid, she came from out of town and she drove up there just for my brunch to celebrate myself and her father because Hub's birthday is just a few days later. And she got steak and eggs. It sounds like my girl. But anyways, it was fun. We got some pictures together. I was so excited to take a picture that had like my mom, my sister, me, Sid, and then, of course, like Sweet Pea, that's what I call my little bean, in there. And I was like, it's the girls of the family. Like, we're all here together. It was super sweet. But anyway, so I did enjoy my birthday in doing that. And then, of course, after that, we went back to the house. And I have always liked cookie cakes for my birthday. Like, I've never wanted a regular cake. That's not been my thing. But lately, I would probably say in the last probably 5 years, since I was 30, I think I've switched from a cookie cake. Not saying cookie cakes are not great because I still love them, but I've switched to the Dairy Queen cookie dough blizzard cake. Those are good. And those I have to order. They used to be able to, you could just pick them up, but now you actually have to order them a couple days in advance for them to make. But I did get my chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard cake from Dairy Queen, and it was good as always. And then my husband also, he gets his own cake because just because we're celebrating together does not mean we don't have things that are separate. So he loves his regular white vanilla cake with buttercream icing, which actually like having his cake plus my blizzard cake works out great because you get the cake and the ice cream kind of combo. And so we were able to do that, and we got each other our cards and just celebrated together. And Hubs gave me a really special card. He always does. We do like to do our cards well for each other. Like we get the ones that have lots of words usually, or at least have words that are meaningful, especially for the time we're in. And his card was so sweet, and it was like, "You're so beautiful," and all these things, which for me, I was like, I need to hear because my confidence is shot. And y'all know, for the most part, I'm a relatively confident person in my personality and in my appearance. And so, so lately, as my appearance have been changing, my confidence has been wavering. Now, I have moments, don't worry. I do have moments where I look in the mirror and I'm like, girl, regardless, you're still just the cutest little thing out there, So I will definitely, I won't let myself get too low. I'll say that. Like when I start going too far down on myself, like, oh, you're just this or that, I'm like, oh, hold on. That's when my personality confidence comes out. And it's like, boo, you fine. You still looking good, okay? Look at yourself. Okay, look how cute you look with your little pregnant face and body. So I will, I'm gonna throw that out there. Okay. If you're out there and you're dealing with some confidence issues, look at yourself in the mirror regardless, like, and just let that personality confidence help your appearance confidence, and just say stuff about yourself, how great you are and how great you look. You'll start feeling better. You'll be like, okay, I guess I am kind of cute. Be your own cheerleader sometimes. It works out. But it is nice to have other people say it too. And other people have been very, very kind. I appreciate all the words. But anywho, so he had given me this nice, lovely card, and I was like, "Thanks, husband." And it was so birthday ended up being a very good time, and I enjoyed it, and it was good being around family, and all of that stuff. So that was, my birthday at Mesh brunch was great. Birthday celebrations. Hubs enjoyed his birthday, all of those things. So back to kind of like the reels I've been seeing. So I have been, y'all know, for the last like, I don't know, however long I've been pregnant, I've been spending a ton of time on my phone. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. I don't like it. It's just what I've been doing. So I've been scrolling a lot and looking up things, and some stuff is helpful. Like I still look at my, I still watch my Joyce Meyer, I listen to podcasts. So some things are somewhat beneficial, but 90%, maybe 85 is still kind of pointless stuff, which goes into my what's in my algorithm. So just a quick check-in as far as my algorithm. Y'all know lately it's been food. Food is still there, which is great. It's been having me try out new stuff. But lately, the newest thing on my algorithm has been like chiropractic back popping stretching videos. Right? How does this stuff end up? Like all it takes is one video, and I guess it recognizes that it had caught my attention, and now it's like, oh my goodness. So yeah, like the videos of a chiropractor would like they're like, this person hasn't been able to bend their back in 6 months or whatever. And then they'll be like, crack, crack, and the person's like, oh, so much relief. And I don't know why it's been fascinating to me. It's not that they immediately show like results or anything like that. It's just other than like that pop sound, which I don't get a kick out of. I'm not into ASMR or any of the sound stuff by any means. But I guess just the idea that like, oh look, ooh, ah, like that kind of like, oh, they just, oh, that factor has me watching those videos. But get this, it doesn't end there. So I found myself watching, human beings getting their backs popped, and necks and arms and everything. But then I found myself watching animal chiropractic, which I didn't even realize was a thing. I was like, what is this? But now I'm watching like a dog or a cat, or you guys, I saw one with a snake. A snake. Do they even have backs to be popped? I mean, I guess they do, yes. But I was like, what is this? What am I watching? And yet I watched it, and I would watch a few of them. Especially the animals, I'm like, do they know that like that they're getting their back, like do they feel better? Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I think they feel better, and then I feel like, yay, like whatever pain they were in, it's gone. But then sometimes I'm like, how do we know though? Like, how do we know? No, like they can't speak to us. They can't say anything. But anywho, so that has been in my lovely algorithm is back popping videos, chiropractic videos. No idea why. Of course, with a random few dog grooming videos thrown in, I think those came from the animal chiropractic videos. But yeah, So that's been what's in Phoebe's algorithm lately. Just throwing that out there, just because, like I said, I've been scrolling on my phone a lot. I will say, symptom wise, I have been doing a little better as far as like nausea. I think I've, mostly past that. All the other symptoms I think come from like meds and things, and so it's like, but overall, I'm feeling okay. So we've hit 22 weeks. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, just in general. So life's going good there. But anywho, okay. So along with all of that, along with us being into September going into October, school is in full swing. Okay. And so I am in the classrooms, which is a little different than what I usually do. Normally, like, for example, last year's schedule, I think I had like, I don't know, 7 or 8 pull-out groups, which is where I would get my multilingual language learner students, my ML kids, and I would pull them into a smaller group to work on their language. Well, this year our district is pushing more co-teaching, and so they want us in the classrooms more. So this year I only have 2 groups that I pull out at the very end of the day, and the rest of the time I am in the classroom with another teacher, co-teaching or helping or assisting in some way to better support the ML students. And so this is new for all of us. It's new for everybody, but I am in those rooms. So it gets so what I'm finding is like, well, one, working with other teachers and adults in the room can be fun. Um, but I'm also finding that I like I get to see kids just in a whole different realm, right? So like when they're in my room and with me, they're in a small group. And so I've got 5, maybe maximum 6 kids. We do our thing. I get my stories and then we're done. I take them back to class. I'm like the cool aunt or the grandma. Being in the room, I'm still the cool aunt because I'm not like the main teacher by any means, but seeing them around their peers and just in a different environment is just it's great. And so y'all, I work mostly with K1 again. That's what I did last year. I'm doing it again this year. And so like, they're just too hilarious. When I was in the K room, they were doing centers, like different, areas or rotations for them to work on. And one of the centers was building a puzzle. And so I was going around helping different kids or helping different groups, and I decided to stop by the puzzle group. I was like, let's just stop by and see what these kids are doing. Kids are hilarious, okay? So I don't know. I guess it's problem solving strategies. I don't know exactly what type of skills go into building puzzles, but let me just say there are skills that go into building puzzles. If you have a young child, have them build a puzzle. And this is why, because I was watching these kindergartners and there were some and that like were let's just say different levels of skills. There was one kid, precious kid as all get out, would take any piece and I promise you try to shove it wherever it could go. And I was like, I don't think that fits. And he's just like pounding it in there. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know. And then like not using clues that it doesn't fit, not using color type clues that it's gonna fit. Just trying to make everything fit. So I would, guide a little bit. But at the same time, I'd kind of let them try to figure it out. And then I had one little guy. I mean, he came up and like had 6 pieces together like already. So you can tell either he had worked with it with parents or he had some problem solving skills or he had ways to look at it. Either someone had taught him. I assume maybe someone had taught him. Maybe some things come naturally or intuitively. I'm not sure. But it was just so cute and funny to see. And of course, y'all know, like I just thinking about like I wonder if God looks down on us and he sees us trying to like do stuff. And I wonder if he's like, I want to step in here. He's like, I kind of want them to grow. I kind of want them to see this really obvious thing. But I don't know that they're seeing it, or they're really, really trying to force this thing, and it's just not gonna fit. Like, yeah, I'm just like, I bet God does look at us sometimes, and sometimes I'm sure He does step in, and sometimes He's like, let's let them try it for a little bit, and maybe they'll grow from this, and they'll learn, like, okay, maybe we can't force this thing. Um, but yeah, so I thought that was too precious. But being in that K classroom and seeing those different rotations, man, it's so important to see like kids and how they play and how they interact. And I think it's so important, especially in kindergarten, man, for their socialization. Because you can see their personalities, you can see them trying to figure things out. You can see how they interact with others, how they're gonna be, how they are. There's a rotation. you could see their creativity. It was so cute. They had like these plates and stuff, and like six kids, they come up with the idea that we're throwing a birthday party for this little thing that's 1 year old. Like, so somebody had to have a little sibling, right? And they're like, over here is where we eat, and over here's where we're gonna cook, and we're gonna cook. And it's amazing to see how much kids pick up by the age of 5. Like, these are 5 year olds, and they have picked up on so many societal cues and like what's going on, and this is what a 1 year old birthday party entails. Like, it's wild to think that kids have picked it up, that they can honestly like think like that. It's so cool. That's the fun part about being around kids, is like it's amazing how kids are like little adults sometimes. Like, it really is. It's like, oh my goodness, like you really are a little adult human who, like, not an adult but a little human, who thinks on your own, and everything. And so that's kind of fun to see. Of course, you've got like free play. There was this one area where there were dinosaurs, and I was going through like, let's name the different dinosaurs and insects, building vocabulary and things like that. And that was fun. And then there was we were making these puppets and these dolls, and using fabric and all kinds of things, and letting them come up with designs and creativity. I loved it. I like being in that room for that reason. This teacher's a very seasoned teacher. And so she, understands the importance of incorporating play and learning, which I think is so important. Especially, like I said, when I see how the kids are socializing with each other and learning how to be around each other, I'm like, yes, yes, that's what we need. So anyway, so it's been fun being in there, and of course, y'all know I can't help but like think in the future. I'm like, okay, when my kid is in kindergarten, like, oh my goodness, I hope they have a fun class like this one, or like, I hope my kid knows how to put together a puzzle when they're in kindergarten. Oh, I was like, okay, like, let me add that to my to-do list of future things to work on with my kid. I want them to be able to put together a basic puzzle. Yes, so that's part of my idea, especially being in these younger kid classrooms. I'm like, okay, well, let me come up with stuff that I want to make sure my kid can do. But we also recently had our parent teacher conferences, and which I think they call them family teacher conferences now. I'm not sure, but anyway, so we had our conference day, and I go into the conferences where of the students that I work with. So I don't go into all of them, but just the ones that are my ML kiddos, and it's cool to see that parents are still concerned about how their kids are doing. Of course, you see it a lot more in the younger grades than you do the older ones. But a lot of the parents are like, okay, how are they doing academically? How are they doing behaviorally? Which I do like that. And man, I'm like, thank you, parents, for caring. Now, not every parent shows up, and not every parent comes or makes contact, and that's on the parent. But as far as the ones that do come, that do show up, it's really cool to see that they care. But it's also, again, because you guys, like, the whole, like, one day I'm going to be able to attend a parent teacher conference with my kid, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be fun, because I've seen it, of course, from the teacher side. I've been the main teacher, I've been the supporting teacher, I have been the student when I was a kid. I remember when I was younger, I did like parent teacher conferences because, for the most part, I was doing fine. Like, if I got in troubles for talking, um, but I always liked mom going to see my stuff, mom being able to talk to my teacher about, how I did. I haven't asked mom if she enjoyed it. Maybe she did. I don't know. I have to ask her now. I'd be like, hey, how was parent teacher conference for us? But I always liked it. Now, I remember one time I almost died, literally. I choked on a piece of candy. I think it was like a peppermint, and my mom was inside the classroom with the teacher talking, and I was sitting outside. I don't know if they just wanted to talk by themselves, or if I just didn't feel like going in there. I'm not really sure why I was outside the classroom, but I was sitting at a table or a chair outside the classroom, and I remember I had this peppermint, and it got lodged in my throat, and I am panicking, and I jump up and I go running towards my mom, and it pops out of my mouth, thank the Lord. And I'm like, I think I was crying. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, because I almost choked to death. But luckily, like I said, my mom was like, well, the angels are watching over you. And they pulled that peppermint out of your mouth. And I was like, yeah. So I remember that parent teacher conference for sure, which is hilarious, because I know there have been plenty more, but that's the one that I remember the most. And probably because, like I said, I almost died. And so that's kind of memorable when when you think about it. But during conferences, like, of course, there's the kids who like love it and the kids who don't. And there's this one little girl. I haven't attended all her conferences, but she's just a little girl that I've noticed. that I've worked with before, and every conference and every after school I don't know, event or something that we have, she always dresses up so cute, and you can just tell like she's so invested in school and so invested in just looking nice and being perfect. She was the one that I had mentioned last year. I don't know if y'all remember, but I had her in a group, and her and the little boy were nervous about taking a test. And he was like, "It's gonna be okay." And she was like, "Thank you for encouraging me." Same little girl, like just she's gonna be somebody cool one day. But anyway, so I saw her. She was dressed up, and what I mean dressed up like Sunday best, like cute little dress, cute little shoes. And this is like every time we have an event after school of any kind. Adore it, adore her. It was really fun. But anywho, so that was parent teacher conferences. And then you guys, we had our second club day. So y'all remember a couple weeks ago, probably like a month now, we had our first club day, and I hinted that maybe I had led the Just Dance Club, the Exercise Fitness Club. This time around, I went a little more low key, and I tag teamed with one of my teachers, and we did a buddy reading club. So she had fourth grade and I had first grade. And so we decided to do, okay, you bring some fourth graders, I'll bring some first graders, and the fourth graders can read to the first graders. And so she set that up, and y'all, this is hilarious and sad. So so the fourth graders were so excited, and they all signed up. I mean, she filled her club out. We fill our clubs out with maximum 15 kids, and she had like 15 kids. And then for the first graders, so it was a reading club. And y'all, tell me why only two first graders signed up for buddy reading. I was like, what? Y'all want to read? I will have to say the other club options that they had for first grade would probably make it quite difficult to want to go read instead. Because one of them was like a making fall snacks club, so they're going to get food. So of course that sounded interesting. Another one was like watching Wild Kratts, and another one was what was it? Making felt puppets. So I completely understand why they were like reading with a buddy. I don't know, but that meant like the two who picked it. I'm like, you guys are so special. I appreciate you. So that also mean I had to go find some more little buddies. So I did go down to kindergarten and I grabbed, I think, three more buddies, three or four more buddies. I think three more buddies, little kindergartners who were like, sure, why not? Like, we're in kindergarten, we don't know. And we took them to the buddy club. And let me say, it went well. It really did go well. They were excited. We had free books to give them, and Miss Bartley had snacks to give them. We didn't tell them that. That was kind of like the little extra surprise. So they were very excited about that. Especially, I loved how excited the fourth graders were to get free books. Like when we told them, you're going to get to take home 2 to 3 books. And they were like, what? We get to take them home? I'm like, yes, you get to take, like, these are yours. Y'all, these are boxes of books that we've been trying to get rid of for like since last year. So we were like, yes, please take them home. Um, and so we had them, did a read aloud with them. When Ms. Bartley did the read aloud, I went over the like expectations and rules and things, and she did the read aloud. And then to show them, this is how you read, make sure your little buddy can see the book, read with expression, things like that. And then we let them, it was two fourth grade buddies with a first grade or a little buddy, and so they teamed up together, which gave them a little more confidence and fun. And then they got a little buddy, which they thought was so cute. Oh my goodness, seeing fourth graders with like little kids, like they're trying to be like little adults to them, and it's too cute. And I loved it. And so seeing them read, of course, I had my group of rambunctious boys who quickly grabbed a little buddy and was, I don't know that they read so much as they just had fun flipping through the books, which is fine, whatever. And then we had two little girls who had grabbed one little guy and just sat him in the chair, and they were just reading to him, and he was just milking it. It was so cute. Like, picture, I have this child's like red chair, like an armchair type thing. And so there's the little guy in that, and he is like comes up to like my knee, like he's a small little guy and a round little precious thing. So he's sitting there, and then imagine the two fourth grade girls on either side, like they don't care that they're on the floor and he's on this fluffy chair. And so my Miss Bartley, my reading teacher partner, had given them animal crackers. And so he has animal cracker and he's just chewing, munching on it. And they're reading to him and he's just looking at it and chewing on his little animal cracker, just as like content as could be. And they're like, look in this book. And they give him a high five when he reads a word and he's just high five. It was so cute. It was so funny. It was too precious. And then another little buddy. So these two little girls, they had a little guy and they were trying to get him to pick a book, and he was like going through the ones and like, you want this one, you want that one. So they finally picked one and he looked so excited. I loved it. It was a good experience. I thought it was fantastic. The fourth graders did good. The little buddies did good. They all liked their little snack. They like reading to each other. It was a good turnout. But yeah, so that was our clubs this time around. I'm curious next month what my club will be. I don't know. We'll see. I like the fact that I can change it, but I like the fact that I can keep it the same. I don't know. I'll have to see what like inspires me the next time around. But that was pretty fun. I like tag teaming it with a teacher. It was good stuff. So that was club day. Y'all, that's been just school stuff in general. Like I said, we're in the grind. I'm actually starting in October when we get back from fall break is when we're in the full grind. So that's when like my groups will be starting. I will be fully implementing as much as I can, my co-teaching. So it's about to get a little more busy, and more interesting. We'll have to see just how the busyness does and with how my body does. When I go back to school, I'll be 23 weeks pregnant. Yay! So looking forward to being 23 weeks. Looking forward to each week actually, but still, just that's school stuff. Okay, so I so y'all know weather-wise. Excuse me. If you haven't noticed by now, then good on you, because you'll probably notice from here on out. So my voice. It's been a little scratchy, a little nasally. That's because last time I talked, weather was heating back up. We were in the upper 80s. It was like hot. Fall wasn't feeling fallish, but it was about to start. It was supposed to be. Well, it rained like this past week, and it cooled it down. And then this past Sunday or Monday, it was so cool and so nice that I was like, I want to be outside. So I went outside on my back deck and I took a nap and I laid out there and I let the coolness just be all over me, breathe over me and sink in. And in doing so, I allergies decided to set in, and seasonal just gunk decided to set in. And all week, y'all, I have been fighting. I don't think sickness, just allergies. My nose has been stuffy. I was like, this is what I get for being like, ooh, cool weather, let's enjoy it. And then the cool weather's like, yeah, okay. And so my nose has been stuffy. My throat has been scratchy and sore. Not sore, just scratchy, I should say, because it doesn't like hurt to talk. It doesn't hurt to swallow. Like I'm talking now and it's fine. It's just been like just like how you just want to drink something hot. Like that's what I've been feeling. Like it doesn't hurt. I just want to drink something hot to soothe it. So maybe just irritated, I guess. And like I said, so my nose has been stuffy. My sinuses, it's been all in my sinuses because it's all around like my eyes and my nose. And I can like press on it and feel the pressure. So that's been a thing, and that hasn't really been fun this whole week. Which is so I'm recording this on a Saturday. I'm quite proud. Now I'm doing this on a Saturday evening. Usually I record if I do it on a Saturday, kind of like early afternoon or things like that. But I've been trying to like get get to a good spot where I can feel good to record, because I've been like like groggy and kind of just like all day. But I got a little bit of wind beneath my sails. So I was like, okay, let me record while I'm feeling like decent, while while I can. So yeah, so I enjoyed the weather so much that it decided to make me sick. But that being said, so this has been kind of like an all week thing, and was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday, last Friday. I don't remember. One of these days, y'all, I went to bed at like 8:15. I know. Who goes to bed at 8:15? I know my dad does sometimes. He goes to bed like 7. I know some people really do go to bed by 8, but that's not me. And so I remember I was so exhausted at like 7, 7:30. I was like, I am about to pass out, which most days I really am so exhausted by like 7 or 7:30. So I've been keeping my days pretty short, especially after working. I tell myself one big thing a day. So like after work, I'll go home or I'll go get some food to go home and then pretty much kind of relax and chill out, let my body just like lay down for a while after being up and at 'em all day. And so, but normally I lay there until about like 9:30, and then I get tired and then I go to bed like 10. But this time it was like 7. I was exhausted. My body was tired. I was like, I really need to rest. And I was like, but it's so early. Like, who goes to bed this early? By 8 o'clock, y'all, I could barely keep my eyes open. I was like, I don't, it's gonna have to be me. I'm gonna have to go to bed. I was like, I don't know. There's nothing else. There's no other reason for me to stay up. I need to go to bed. So I did. I laid down by 8:14. I looked at my phone and y'all, then I was out. I was asleep until like 4 a.m. the next morning when I got up like my normal my trend is to get up at 3 or 4 every single night, you guys. It's a little ridiculous. But so like 4 o'clock comes around, I got up and I was like, well, it technically was like 8 hours of sleep. And then I stayed up for like an hour and then I went back to bed. But I went to bed early. And it wasn't bad. And my husband was like, you know what? I went to bed like maybe 30 minutes after you. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He was like, maybe we should do this early to bed thing. I was like, maybe we should. I didn't mind it. So I am like, okay, maybe I can just start going to bed earlier. Like, why not? And especially if I'm going to be getting up anyway, which you guys, y'all. So I'm pretty sure I've mentioned on the podcast, but if I haven't, y'all, my sleep has just been for the last month, 2 months, terrible. I just don't sleep well. I don't know if it's like because of my steroids or whatever. Y'all know I don't like these steroids. But I just don't sleep well. And that's the other thing. Like being pregnant and like on medication, I don't know where the symptoms are coming from. Y'all have heard me talk about it already. But just knowing I cannot sleep. I get up every night at like between 2 and 4, and then I'll stay up for an hour and a half or two every night, and then go back to sleep and then wake up at like 7, when I have to get up for work. So sometimes I'm okay, and then sometimes it just makes me so tired throughout the rest of the day. But alas, it just is what it is. It'll be worth it at the end. But anywho, so that's kind of, we were like, maybe we should try this go to bed early thing. And I do think as the days get shorter, I know we don't want to talk about that. That's the one thing of fall and winter we don't like, are the days getting shorter. But as the days get shorter, if it gets dark at like 7, I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm ready to go to bed. Maybe it won't be too bad. Maybe the whole like seasonal, what is the seasonal depression thing won't hit so hard if I change my sleeping hours to be the same time as when it's actually dark. But anywho, all right. So I do want to throw out there that so I do have a quick hema story, my hematology. That's my older people, a doctor place. And the only thing I want to say about that, other than, well, is so I was going up the elevator. Y'all just know, like, it's just stuff happens at the hematologist. I was going up the elevator and there was this lady, she was in front of me. She was, before I got on the elevator, she was walking, she had a cane, skinny little lady. She's probably like, mm, maybe my height, but super skinny, had a cane, but was getting it. Okay. We get up the elevator. She goes up to the same floor that I go on. We get there and she's in front of me. Y'all, I kid you not. The lady was like, and when's your birthday? And she said, 10, 11, 29. And I was like, 29? 29? I was like, this woman is 96 years old. I was like, right, 96 and 29, 4 years, she'll be 100. Yeah, you guys, this 96-year-old woman was getting it faster than me. I'm like huffing and puffing. Y'all know I can't breathe these days. I'm huffing and puffing, and she is like moving faster than me on her little cane than I was, like just being a 36-year-old. Okay? I was like, girl, get it. Girl, get it. And she wasn't slow in her speech. She wasn't slow in her walk. She wasn't like she just looked like a regular old person. She could have been like 77 or something. Like that's the age she could have been, and I believed it. But 96, I was like, okay, or about to turn 96. I was like, good on you. Like, proud of her. That's all I wanted to say was that, man, there's some older people out there, and that's encouraging. Encouraging in some ways. I'm like, man, I hope I can get it like that. When I'm 96, y'all can't get it now, and I'm 36. But anyway, um, so I thought that was fun. But health update. So I did go to the hematologist. I still have to be on steroids. Y'all, I was like, when do we get to taper this thing? Not yet. Got another month at least of these steroids. And then after that, we are going to move on to a different treatment. We're going to do IVIG. This is to help my platelets. I'll be starting those infusions, or I'll be getting those weekly. Yay. But at that point, I will be able to taper off the steroids. And so that's good. So prayers there, you guys. Yeah, because my platelets are still just doing their own little thing. I'm like, okay. So yes, I still got to be on these roids a little longer. Whew. It's fine. We gonna make it. My doctor was like, "Are you gonna throw something at me? Because I'm gonna tell you to stay on them a little longer." I was like, "No, but um, we will see." But anyway, other than that, that's my body. We're figuring it out. We got things in place. But my sweet pea, she's still doing good. In fact, at this last appointment, I had this past Wednesday. It was so cool. My mom was with me, and we, of course, I've been, so probably since, I think I told you guys I did start feeling her about 20 weeks, like little flutters or little kicks. And then I like officially feel like I felt her about 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh, that's her for sure. Well, now I've been feeling her a lot more. And can I just say it's weird? I think I've said that. Y'all, it just feels weird right now. I'm just like, what? It's like an alien. There's a little alien inside of there. And it's not huge feelings right now, because she is still, I'm still just 22 weeks, but I am definitely feeling like when she moves and tosses and turns, and it's cool and weird. Like, I love it because I'm like, oh, you're here with me, which is kind of like another new thing is that I've been, now I feel, I don't want to say I've felt like alone, but you just, it's just you just live your life with yourself. But lately I've been like, "Oh, it's us." And I've been like thinking of us as we, because I'm not like by myself anymore, is what it feels like. It's like me and the sweet pea, like me and my little girl. And so that's kind of been a new thought. Like I'm starting to think of us as we. And I say things like, man, we must be hungry. We are tired. We need to go lay down. Oh, we're feeling active. Like I just like we, it's like me and my little girl, like it's us two together. Which is kind of cool. And I've also realized I'm a bit more um protective of even myself, I guess, in some ways. Like if I see something coming at me real quick, I'm like, "Oh, hold on," because I've got like my sweet pea in here, and so you better not mess with me because you mess with me, you mess with my baby, and that's not right. So like that kind of protective type attitude is starting to hit. Oh boy. And so like it's been cool. It's just kind of cool to think of like, oh, like it's not just me, it's us. And um, one of the things that I've it's while I'm thinking of her, and thinking of her in my belly and the thing that she's moving, I'm like, oh, I wonder if she's dancing, I wonder if she likes music, or I wonder if she is hungry, or if she likes what I just ate, or if she doesn't like what I just ate. And it's interesting because I don't know, right? I don't know exactly why she's moving or whatever. And it's hard not to want to like assign a personality to her. Like in my brain, I can think, oh, she loves music. That's why she's moving. But what if it's not? What if she's like, oh my gosh, I hate this and I'm moving because I can't get to stop, right? Or what if I'm like, oh, she must really like this food. But what if she's like, oh, this is making me sick, right? Like, what if, like, I one thing I want to make sure that I don't do is assign her a personality of who I want her to be, and that's not who she is. So it's kind of tough because I think we kind of naturally do it, right? Like we kind of think about, oh, she's moving so much, so she's going to be super energetic, but really we don't know, right? Like she could be the most chill baby ever we have no idea. Um, or like when she like kicked, we were at the ultrasound. That's what I was telling you. Did I finish that thought when I was talking about my mom and I in the ultrasound and her kicking me? Yeah, I don't know if I finished that thought. This is where my brain goes. But anyway, mom and I, we got to see her kick me, and it was so cute. Like her little leg just stretched out and just like stretched straight up, and then I saw her little feet kick and her little arm kick, and I was like, this is so cute. But anywho, so I loved that. Loved seeing her move. I enjoy feeling her move. Like I said, it's weird, but I do enjoy it. It's like reminds me, hey, there's a little human being in there that's a moving and a growing. And then again, like I said, I don't want to assign a personality to her. I want her to be who she is. But it's kind of like I'm so curious, like what parts of her are gonna be like part of who she is. Like I'm curious. I'm curious to meet her. Like I'm like, oh, how are you gonna be? Like I would love every part of you, but I'm so curious how you're gonna be. Like what part of you will be nature? What part of you will be nurture? Oh my goodness, I'm ready. But anyway, so that's kind of where my brain has been when it comes to baby girl. I don't have any new symptoms. I was going to be like, hey guys, here we're solid in the second trimester, about to hit 6 months. This is what's going on. Pretty much the same thing. I eat, I get bloated, I don't sleep well, I'm feeling or move more. I forget a lot of things. that's that's kind of that's where I am. That's it. That's about it. But I am trying to enjoy the parts of it that I can enjoy. um, I am trying to think about like, okay, in just a little while, like because I will, let's see, in January, is when she's due. They're not going to let me go full term, so we're thinking like early to mid January, latest mid January, but probably early January, those first couple of weeks. So I'm like, man, I've got the month of October, November, and December, and then boom, like January comes and it's go time. And so it's kind of cool. It's like, okay, all right. And it's kind of nice that I feel like these months that I'm going into are great months of distraction. Like I said, these burr months, there's a lot going on. So instead of like me just sitting there fretting about every week passing and trying to make it to that date, it's like, well, there are some wonderful, beautiful things and moments in between that I really want to capture. And because y'all know me, I've written a list. I most definitely have written a list of all the things I look forward to in the next few months, October, November, and December before a little bit even gets here. And of course, things like that include fall break. Whoop, whoop. I was like, fall breaks coming. I'm excited about that. Baby shower, excited about that. Thanksgiving, Christmas, ladies' banquet, like stuff at church. Anything that brings me some measure of excitement to look forward to before she actually gets here in January. I'm like, let me hold on to those because those little milestones will help me along this journey. Because y'all know brains can go everywhere. My brain goes everywhere and nowhere at the same time. If that's a symptom, that's a symptom. My brain going everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So yeah. So anywho, so that's where I am, at least when it comes to baby and pregnancy wise and things like that. The last couple things I want to share is I do kind of have a song segment, and that was so the day before, no, the day of my ultrasound, which was this past Wednesday. I was feeling just nervous. I get very nervous, usually right before every ultrasound. I get nervous, and I have this like when you've in the past when you have felt uh relief or um excitement to very quickly be followed by sorrow and disappointment, just how quickly situations can change, then you do get a little nervous of things that are supposed to be exciting, because you're like, I just know how fast things can change, right? And so you do have to fight those thoughts, and you got to fight them because they're going to come, period. But just because you think something doesn't make it reality, right? So just because you think, oh, this is good, so it's going to turn bad, doesn't make it reality. I've been keeping a list of all the things that have made me nervous, just a running list. And every time that part gets resolved or is like, I was so nervous about this, but good news came from it, I've been writing it down every time because I'm reminding myself that there are lots of hurdles for me with this pregnancy, but so far we've been able to get over every one. And I truly believe that God's plan this time around is for me to get over every hurdle and for us to have this baby. So things look scary at times, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write it down. I'm like, okay, God, this is the hurdle. I'm either we gonna get over it, or not, either way we'll deal. But like, okay, I'm writing this down because I want to remember that this is a really truly scary thing that I'm thinking, but I'm believing that we're gonna get through it. So anyway, so I've been writing that down. But anyway, so I was nervous as I am before every ultrasound. And uh and so that morning I was like, okay, it's okay. Because one of the things I had prayed for that Sunday and that kind of week that's kind of been on my mind to pray for was like, I don't want to have to be nervous every time, right? Like thoughts will come, and I rebuke them and, get past them, but I don't want them to come every time, and I want good thoughts to come too. And so this past Sunday, um our uh our pastor's son had preached. Y'all know I love my brother Merritt, and he had said a lot of amazing great things, but he was talking about the right hand of God, and he had mentioned, God pulling us out using his right hand, the power of God, the authority of God, to pull us out of out of stuff. And he had made the reference of the miry clay. And I remember old school song, he brought me out of the miry clay, right? He set my foot on the rock to stay. He put a song in my soul today, a song of his praise, hallelujah. I think those are the words. Don't quote me on it. But those are the words that I sang Wednesday. So Sunday, when I had prayed, like prayed over myself, I said, you know what, God, I could really use your right hand to pull me out of the miry clay. In my mind, the miry clay was those thoughts, those feelings, those anxieties that are perfectly normal to feel because I am human, but there are thoughts and things that I don't want to think or feel. And because I have the Holy Ghost and because I'm a child of God, I feel like I don't have to feel those things. I don't have to think those things, right? Like God can bring me out of that thought process because what brought those thought processes were past experiences and, past fears and past things like real legitimate things, right? But I don't want to have to think that way. I don't want that to be my default. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but that's just kind of how I was feeling. So I was like, God, this miry clay is all my anxiety, thoughts, fears, and experiences that have led me to thinking this way when it comes to this positive situation, which is my pregnancy. And I was like, I need you to pull me out of those thoughts, feelings, and things so that way this pregnancy I can come at it just more positive, more hopeful, more just in my just, more I don't know, happy about it. And so I was like, God, if you can work on that with me. And so Wednesday, when I was feeling anxious, kind of that normal anxious feeling was coming over me, and I was like, no, 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 no. God, you're going to bring me out of this miry clay. I'm not going to think like this. I'm not going to be nervous about this ultrasound. So I started singing while I was getting ready. He brought me out of the miry clay. He brought me out of the miry clay. And again, like he set my feet on the rock to stay. He put a song in my soul today. A song of his praise, hallelujah. And so I just sang it over. That's the only part I know. I'm sure there's more. I don't even know if those are all the words, but I sang that over and over and over. And I was like, okay, like I'm going into this appointment. And I said, when I leave that appointment, I'm going to be able to sing the same thing. This will be another thing that I'm going to write down on my list that everything went well. And it did. And everything went well. So I was still singing. When I left my appointment, he brought me out of the miry clay. So that was kind of like my song segment of this past week, of just something that I've been kind of thinking about. I'm like, okay, God, I really want you to help me get out of this negative thought process. I've been doing pretty good. Like I do pretty good. I don't want to say on my own. Like I know strategies, I know techniques. I have a psychology background, I have a therapy background. So I know the things that help, in the natural realm. But I was like, but God, I want some supernatural. I want some of you to help me with this. And I was like, I don't know that I've been leaning on you as much as I should be as a child of God. The whole walking in your privilege thing. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there that was the song I was thinking of and the song that encouraged me and that I want to keep going back to if I need to, because I do want to enjoy this pregnancy, without all the other things that are heavy, right? So anywho, so I thought I would share that. And then the last thought that I thought I would share is I had heard someone say, I don't even know where I heard it, but it was like, isn't it nice that you can please God with your praise and worship? That there's like actually a way to please God, to make him smile. And I just love that. I was like, yes, that's so nice. Because when I left that appointment and I'm feeling grateful and I'm feeling good and I'm like, yes, like everything went well. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Sometimes you feel like saying thank you isn't enough. But like if you praise God and worship him, when I sing to him or whatever, like that really does please God. That's something that brings a smile to his face. I'm like, I'm so glad that I can do something that can make the God of the universe smile, right? And so I was like, yes, I'm so glad that there is a way to please God. Especially when he like comes through and follows through and is always there. Like, okay, God, I gotta give you something back. But anywho, so all right, you guys, my voice is very quickly waning. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it is it's fading fast. But that was all I wanted to share anyway. So I do want to say thank you guys so much for listening and for tuning in. In the next episode, I'll be 24 weeks, you guys, which is that's great for me. That's a big milestone. That's what they being doctors consider viability. That's when a lot of NICU start. And I know that's not the way to think per se, like, oh, we're not going to need the NICU, y'all. I'm believing we're not going to need that NICU. No, no, no. but it like every little bit helps. So yeah, so I'm excited to touch base with you guys in a couple weeks. But until then, enjoy your beginnings to October. I hope it goes amazing. I hope you have great weather. I want you to enjoy it, but don't enjoy it too much where you get all the gunk. Ugh. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening and for tuning in. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in a couple weeks.